80. So, Kuku Data Autopilot, we're gonna be working with the backend now. So right now, I'm gonna be starting off with the database. So, we are creating a database folder. This is going to be where we give our codes related to the database. So right now, I'm creating an interface that's going to be implemented by any database that's gonna be used. And the reason I want to have an interface first is because you never know when you are gonna be needing a different type of database. So to make things easier in the future for the future Kuku, I'm making an interface that has to be implemented by the specific database for it to be used properly. So export class I database adapter. Okay, sorry, it's gonna be an interface, not an interface. So for now we're gonna have the function called init, and this can return a promise of void, and then this post function return a void. Okay, so this is gonna be our adapter. So let's have our first adapter. It's going to be load DB. Class implements data. And we are going to be implementing it. And let's just say console. Do we have any logger? So what we can do is we can started, and then we can sleep for, let's just say 2 seconds. It's gonna be like this, and it's gonna be the sync. And we're gonna be logging if we need that. All right. This is just to demonstrate the ability. It's just so that we can simulate a delay in an asynchronous function. I'm gonna do the same here. Take this post started. I'm gonna have a sleep. Let's just give her something like 500 milliseconds. This is also going to be in the same function, and let's just lock. What do we lock? Alright. Okay, so we have our dispose, we have our init, and in the future, if we need, we'll add new functions as required. So these are adapter, these are that. We might need a factory. I think we are gonna be using a factory. Okay, that factory is going to be responsible for building our database for us. Let's have a factory. Okay, so let's do an export as okay. And for building, right? So we're going to take the configuration from config file. So we have our source. Do we have a config folder? I don't think so. And let's database.config.s. Okay. Oh, we don't even need this. We can just do const db type. Source is gonna be load db for now, and we can export this. All right. This is everything that we need. So it's gonna be the build function, and I think in the future we might have some kind of options, blah 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 blah. But for now we don't need this. We have let's be the factory folder. Let's move this here, and let's make another file. Class option. It's gonna be an object gonna be used here. Use option, and then option. This is gonna be optional. We don't really need this, and this is going to return a database. It's gonna return a database adapter right above us. Okay. And the way it's gonna return is, for now, we're just gonna be using a switch. And in the switch, we are going to have, oh yeah, we also need to import our config file from config/database. Alright. So from here, what we need is our source. Let's call it db source and source, so we can have case db. Perfect. It's gonna be for now just breaking, and then we have to go. It's gonna be throw new header. It's gonna say invalid data. Type in database config. Alright. So we simply yeah, this is also, let's make this build function async. Public static async. The reason is, when we return a database, we wanna make sure that we initialize it first. So gonna be, so we created our database, and after that we want to do is init. Alright. Return db. Okay. And this one has to be wrapped in a so we have our build function. Our build function is quite simple. It's just going to take in an option. It's also going to be optional. In the as a promise, it's going to return a promise of database adapter. If our config has low db as its value, we're simply going to have this. Hey, you know what? I wonder if it's possible to have an, so db, okay, and then source. Yeah, so I'm not sure how to set default value. So let's copy this and ask our best friend ChatGPT. I see. So it doesn't work this way. Database type dot. Okay. So this is what we have to do. That's good. So this is not going to be this anymore. It's going to be. Oh, we have to export it, right? Because it doesn't see it. Okay, so it's looking good. Everything is looking good. But if we reach here by default, yeah, we don't even need anything else, because the first thing is switch, and then switch, if it doesn't match, we are going to be throwing an exception. So this should work, hopefully. Database, right? We have our config, we have our controller, we have our factory, we have some build options, and we have our database. Alright, okay, this is done. As for the services, I think I'm gonna get rid of it. We won't need them. For controller, we have controller factory. It's gonna be responsible for creating controllers. But I think I'm gonna restart everything from scratch. The controllers. Controllers, we have this, we have that, we have blah blah blah. Okay. I think what we need is 3. So let's start with the factory first. Let's name them. We call that lowercase. Only the files are gonna be in uppercase. So factory, let's create our first file for factory. Yes. Split class. Static async build. And then this is going to be different. This one is going to require a route. So let's import it. Alright, it's gonna return a promise of, okay, we have to create the controller. Calling it, and we might have some options that we need. Router, right? We have our router. We also need our source. Oh yeah, it's gonna be the class build. Wait a minute, I'm gonna check my old controller first. You know what? Extends. I think it was. This. I forgot the syntax. Let me just get a quick look at my old previous comments. I'm checking previous comments. Database? I think it's not database. It created good, right? So I want to go here. And go here. So it's an object whose type is, I don't know what. So the syntax, right? It's pretty weird. I'm not gonna lie. So it's new. We are creating a new constructor, which is going to return a D. Okay, new constructor. 3. It's gonna be can be any, and it's gonna return a D. Is that correct? You know what, let's get rid of this first. Why do we have this extra since we shouldn't be doing that? I'm gonna return a promise of T. Okay, so it's gonna be a constructor. And its args are gonna be anything, and it's going to be returning a T. Oh, it's gonna return a T. Okay. Wow, this is quite confusing. Class. Class. We have type T. Okay, so what we can do now is wait a minute. Does it mean we don't ever? Okay, we don't even use generics here. Let me just reply my friend. This is our builder. We don't. We might have some options in the future, but you know what? Let's just create an option. What did I call this in here? I wanna maintain a. This is the build options. Wait, so build option. Controller crowd class, and then we can have option, and then it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be optional. We don't need this. We need the router. This is important. And then do we actually do the routing thing? I mean, we can do. Okay, so yeah, I initially thought we are gonna be hooking with router as our parameter, but now that I think about it, we might be limiting ourselves with routers, or using routers. So let's just keep routers out of the picture and focus on, yeah, what we want to do. So return for now. Okay. Const. Then we're gonna have a function called init here as well. And then we can have the promise void. Okay, looks good enough for me. Okay, we have controllers, we have factory, we have everything. We have config, we have database. So we have the first controller. It's gonna be our workspace controller. Okay. So the workspace controller needs a reference to our database. So we have to go DB. It's gonna be then I think that's gonna be it. Then our controller. What we're gonna be doing in here is firstly we want to set up our database, right? So it's factory.build. I don't think we have to do anything else. Oh yeah, this has to be this. Because this is a class instance. So we are creating a database, and then we wanna. This is going to initialize everything that needs to initialize for us, and basically that's gonna be it. We have our workspace controller, and we have our database. We have our factories. The factory is gonna be calling this, doing that. Okay. Yeah, it looks good to me. There's a lot of don't need this anymore. Right? So util we have sleep for sleeping. Let's add a return. Then we space model setup. So here we are using Express.js start server blah 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 blah. This is gonna be what I want to build is it's going to be a rover and should be good enough. We need the function. What is it gonna return? I forgot. Nothing, right? Okay, let me just check what the function. Nobody's returning a saying quiet. What the fuck? What's response? Set aside all the parameter of type application. What? I'm confused. I mean, It's literally the same, right? A saying foo. Uh, we have our workspace controller, and our workspace controller, it's working, blah blah blah. I think everything is set up now. So we have some config for our. I think this is good enough. Just to be sure, let's program and see if it's working as intended. So we're gonna be testing our APIs. We can have middleware if you want to, but I don't think we need any middleware. There's like authorization and all these kind of things. Yeah, maybe we can start with middlewares. For now, I think we're fine without any middleware. Is it on? No, I don't think it's not yet, but let's just check it out. Space. I wonder why it's taking so long. I mean, it should be working. We have a router, we have Express. We're using the build function. This is going to give us this right here. We have. Do we specify? I mean, it works. It'll do that. I think it's bugged. Let's redo this. But it's like stuck in here. I'm not sure why. Yeah, it doesn't work, I think. We might have to use some kind of breakpoint or something. See what's actually happening. At a breakpoint here. Let's do a STS node is recognized as an internal or external command. How do I debug this thing? Let's do it here. Let's just do, what do you call it? Building controller of class. Let's just do plus t dot. Okay. Let's try this one out. It's like oh, so it's running. Fucking hell, dude. It runs. I think it was just bugged. So yeah, it's running right now. Okay, so we have set this up. It's looking pretty good. Fuck, I hate when there's like merge error, blah 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 blah. Anyways, so our main thing is done. Now the next thing is I wanna also include, what is the thing called? Dispatchers. Yeah, dispatchers. Dispatchers are important in my eyes because it helps to decouple a lot of things. We could have used dispatchers in here as well, like callbacks in the situation right here. Instead of having setting it up this way, we could have called the init function ourselves and then add a listener to the some kind of event that's gonna be fired by the init function, and then notification, this function, this would be listening for that event, and when it gets that event, it's gonna know that everything is working, everything has been set up as it needs to be set up, and then it would proceed to send the routes, blah blah blah, and all those things. Okay, so yeah, that's what we could have done, but we went with this route. This is not bad either, it's just that it's a bit more tightly coupled compared to event-driven architecture. So we have this. Now, let's set up our database. Okay, let's work on our database now, because we have no idea how databases work. So we have our controller. Let's make our first function that's gonna be async create workspace. Okay. Request, it's gonna be response, and it's gonna return a promise of nothing because we use the REST object to just basically return a response. Okay. Also, I'm gonna mute this and play my song, baby. This one right here. Requested body as just set a JSON for now. In the future, we're gonna be changing this. But if it's invalid, we wanna do something else. Okay. Can go on. I have to find a way to. Oh yeah, this one is not supposed to return. Free service. Have public async init. Init, and we're gonna await it. Perfect. So we have right here, workspace factory. We're returning this, and we have some build options that we might be able to use in the future. And this is our factory, and we have our workspace service itself, and we can simulate the console log. Let's just do a space service fake init started, and then we can have wait sleep. Mm, okay, so we have this set up. So this is our factory. We have the workspace. Let's rename this to workspace. Okay, and we have a controller, right? It's gonna be doing this. It's gonna be our database, right? So we are setting up our database, and our controller. Instead of setting up a database, now we wanna set up. This is gonna be a workspace service. It's gonna be service, and we don't need this anymore. It's gonna be this dot service is equals to factory, right? That's our workspace factory dot build, and it's gonna be building our. Okay, just gonna build our stuff, and this in turn is gonna call the init function. This init function is gonna call this one instead. Okay, so let's just this. Yeah. Building controller. I'm not sure about this, but I think we might have a couple of options that we can do. Building controller for class. Okay, I think I'm gonna skip this option. Building controller of class. Okay, so we are logging this, and this is producing this huge pile of code. Can't we just have a type? Okay, what if we just do names? Okay, okay, yeah, this is good. So we can also, instead of doing this, right, we can have a controller in here. We can have it in it, blah 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 blah. Okay, yeah. So workspace service, and we can have a database. Private DB. It's gonna be I database adapter, and in here, what we're gonna be initializing. Wait, let's just say const. Sorry, this dot db is gonna be our database factory dot build, and it's gonna be it. We're gonna await this. So right now, if we restart our server, we should see the text for the database as well. It's not running. It's not running. Awesome. So workspace service initialized, then our database initialized, and then our workspace done. Okay, yeah. I mean, let's call it done. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so yeah, now we can focus on the database itself. So we have workspace, we can also have record. We can also have another service called task. Okay, so those are going to be the services. Okay, so we have our config set up, everything that we are looking for. Now we just want to work on this, right? But I think the best way to approach this is going to be from the service level. I would like to work from the high level and slowly work my way up to the bottom level. So the first one, okay, the controller, yeah, it's going to be the highest level part. So we have foo, right? Create workspace. We have workspace. Okay, so yeah. So this, if this is valid, what we want to do is we want a workspace service dot. It's already initialized. So what we want to do instead is create controller, right? Controller. Let's just do the. Let's just add it. I want to do the same for. This is for controller, right? Okay. Yeah, okay. Create workspace, and we wanna pass our workspace, okay? this. Let's go in this. It's gonna be here, and let's put this down there. Right. So we don't really need any constructor. That's what. That's why we never bothered with this. And this is gonna return a promise of a valid one. Okay. I think everything is gonna be good. Now we are gonna be using our database service. You might think that we are just making things worse, but we are not, trust me. You might be thinking we have a create workspace function here. We also have a create workspace function inside the database. But no, this is not a big deal. And the reason we're doing this is because we want to have a separation of concern in future. If we want to change anything that's related to service, it's going to be done here. And in future, if there's something that's going to be related to the database, it's going to be done in the database. So although we are working with a service here, the service in turn is making use of our database. So yeah, it's basically just forwarding the request to the database. So that's what's kind of happening. Create this. Let's go here and here. Promise of let's just say workspace model. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, we just do this return thing. Okay. What's wrong with you? I'm gonna fix that right now. So our workspace for the initialization, we are gonna make use of the database. So we are trying to find a database that's gonna be very lightweight. So let's see, what's a lightweight database? GraphQL. I never used GraphQL. That's the thing. GraphQL. Okay. I mean, it does have complex data. I'm not gonna lie about that. It does have complex data. Where's my README file? Not this one. Yeah, this one. Hmm. Okay, maybe in the future. In the future, we'll just do this in the future. Shut the fuck up. We don't need your help anymore. Installation. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Okay. 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 Give me a minute. Minute. I'm gonna go and pee and be right back. Create document. I mean, it's quite simple. Hmm. Okay. 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 So let's do this. We'll use So what I want to do is good documentation. I'm not gonna lie. You know what? Let's just remove. This is so weird to say.
Hi everyone. Thank you of at least that she couldn't. It was made by the end of this production. Like I said, my fake it till you make it. Huh? No, actually, what they did, they multiple episodes, very of Unreal assets that they can an Unreal asset made it into my world because the budget. Then you can start creating.
Taking forever.
Good, right? Communicated quite fast, right? So everybody that I'm going to touch upon a bit is the casting, right? Maybe you know this already, but it's very easy to kind of overlook. If you can create a very easy direct dependency relationship when you cast to blueprint types. So in this example, you see class B is directly referenced and is forever linked now with class A because of this cast. So every time A is open or accessed, B will also be open and accessed. And you can kind of see how this can go out of control. Here's a random example. You can find this. I just plucked it from Google. You can see the size map of a blueprint. It's like overall is 2 gigs just because of these dependency chains that get created. And there's various ways to deal with this. So how would you go about not creating some of this? How, obviously, you want to create a good culture, you want to have reviews or the so-called body checks, you want to teach new people the good ways. Obviously you want to create documentation, tutorials, how to improve things, and we all know we have time to refactor in game dev, right? But you should still try. But what I want to touch upon in this talk is how do you prevent the problem before happening, let's say, or catch.
Why is it taking so long? Making the grade.
We're seriously understaffed.
Oh, yeah. It'd be great if we had a hall right about now. Any shot?
You really think he'd be on our side? I have an idea.
Me too. Where's yours?
Downstairs. Where's yours?
He can gently tap the fourth wall as well. Gently. Okay, so yeah. What the fuck? Too high severity. Vulnerabilities detected. Trying to do. Okay, so we have our dependencies, we have our controller. Low DB, right? So let's rename this DB. So for the setting up, we have a couple of options that we create our X database. Okay, so we have our database. We also need our storage file system. Import from our xdb login slash storage okay, so not this one. SQLite storage. Okay, let's use the SQLite. We have a Dixie Dino KB. I don't know what this is. We should use foundation. Okay, so if we're using foundation. Let's learn about this. What the fuck? It's too much work, dude. What the fuck? Their options are so fucking ass. Okay, let's use this. So we're gonna import. So for initialization, what you wanna do is database and name is going to be get dap db. Okay. Như vậy số bị ra.
Nam flexera. Wala injection to. Zaw dito mama na. Ano sabi mo? Mama hindi na sa lasin. Wala sana na ko. Dapat na sana.
Ang code height mo. Code height mo.
Ano ba? 지금 뭐라? 이제 그때 하래. 하래 막사 하래 파.
Okay, okay, okay.
많이 먹어야 돼.
Dream, dude.